Today's landscape is inspired by a subject very close to my heart, which is dark skies and golden fields. A few loose pencil marks just to indicate the big shapes, and I'm getting started with some very dark colors right from the beginning and a lot of water to get the paints to mingle and flow. If you know that your paper is capable of handling a lot of water, if you're using thick watercolor paper, for example, you can just go ahead and use this technique. But if you are using thinner paper or mixed media paper, please consider giving it a layer or two of gesso. The painting is somewhat inspired by a painting by Van Gogh, Vincent Van Gogh, believed to be one of his last paintings. He painted this golden field with very dark clouds with a bunch of dark birds above in the clouds, I think maybe crows or something. And it's a very powerful painting, and I was lucky enough to see it in person many years ago. And still, every time I see dark rain clouds and the sun shining on a golden field, I think of this painting. And of course, his story, his tragic story. Vincent Van Gogh also happens to be one of my favorite artists. So, of course, I'm not going to compare myself to him, but I'm really fascinated by his skills and his love of the subjects and whatever he painted in his very short lifetime. So I'm going to try and be bold and make an expressive landscape and kind of honor him in some way. I want to use this brayer to add texture to the painting. So using some white gesso, I will roll on some of the gesso to the parts of the painting where I want to create more texture. This will be somewhat random, and it will help create some interesting surface for my paint layers that are to come. It might be a little bit difficult to see as it is white on white, but there's definitely some more texture there. Also, I like to use a painting knife to add some thicker gesso in certain areas. You can also use that to add some scraping and some scratching into the gesso to add more texture and textual elements. While the gesso is drying, I'm going to add some marks in the sky with watercolor pencils. These are water-soluble pencils, so they will blend in nicely with the wet paint. And I'm definitely trying to really be very bold here, exaggerating the colors, making the sky even darker than it was on my reference photo, and just basically adding some of those expressionist marks to the sky. At this point, the gesso has dried, and I want to glaze on top of it with one of my favorite colors, quinacridone nickel Azo Gold. and as the name implies, it is like liquid gold. It's also quite an expensive paint, but a little goes a long way. You can see I only used a few drops, and I'm even adding some water. So a little bottle will really last a very long time. This very warm color, I feel it really complements the cool dark blues in the rest of the painting, and this contrast of the cool blues and the warm golden tones is another favorite of mine. It's also a color combination that Vincent used quite a lot, blue and yellow colors, and in fact he worked with complementary colors a lot, and perhaps that's one of the reasons I really like his or love his paintings. Because the paint is still wet, I am able to use some kitchen towel to lift out some of the paint while it is still wet. And this is something you can do if you have a layer of gesso. If your paper or canvas is untreated, it's a lot more difficult. So if you want to have this option, be sure to use a layer of two of gesso. This is sort of a technique I picked up from when I painted watercolors, or when I paint watercolors, because I still do it. It's nice because you can add a different dimension by also taking away paint once it's applied. So something to add to your texture toolbox, so to speak. I want to create a very dark warm color, so I'm going to be using the burnt sienna and some of that Paynes gray and create a very dark warm color. I'll also add a little bit of white gesso to the mixture, which kind of gives a nice warm dark gray color. There's nothing wrong with using a pre-mixed color if you prefer. I just always like to mix my own grays. It somehow gives more life to the painting, and also it's a good way to practice mixing colors. It also somehow makes the whole painting more unified because I'm using colors that are already in the painting. To keep my painting expressive and my mark making more interesting, I kind of go back and forth between using the watercolor pencils and using a brush. Um, it's a good way for me to always keep my mark making moving and creating different marks. Somehow it adds more life also and vitality to the painting, in my opinion. It's also an excellent way to loosen up your painting style if you're struggling with being a bit too tight, switching back and forth between pencils and brushes, or big and small brushes. It's a good way to stay loose. In fact, if you are interested in painting in a more loose style, check out my free guide, 5 ways to loosen up your painting style. I'll leave a link in the description below. It's absolutely free, and it will give you my 5 top tips to paint looser and more freely. Also, please let me know in the comments if you are a Vincent Van Gogh fan or not, and whether you have seen some of the many movies that have been made about his art and life. After removing the masking tape, I just wanted to add a little bit of pure color in certain areas to make those yellow colors really pop. And then I think we're done. So thank you very much for watching, and see you in the next video.